When you sent this book Theory Blue in, gotta say, I was hooked right away. Life is a pre-written book, all of us just playing our parts. It's kind of creepy, but I couldn't put it down.
Yeah, and that whole idea has been around forever, right? Myths, sci-fi, it always pops up. But this book, Theory Blue, it takes that philosophy and throws it right into this whole world of conspiracies and mysteries.
Exactly. And then we meet Rory Pendleton, totally obsessed with UFOs, diving deep down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories. He gets so convinced that there's this huge secret, something massive being hidden from everyone.
And that's what gets people, don't you think? That search for hidden knowledge, like nowadays we're bombarded with info, makes you wonder who's controlling what we see, what we believe. Rory, he's like the poster child for that anxiety, that need to break free from the official story, you know?
Like he's desperate for something real, something authentic, in a world that feels more and more fake. Which brings us to this whole purple beams and blue beams thing he's got going on.
Wild concept, right? Our interactions, even our thoughts, they've got these invisible energies attached to them. Purple for good vibes, authenticity, and blue, that's the negative, the manipulation, all that.
So it's not just what's going on around him, but how he chooses to react to it, right? He's actively trying to make those purple beam interactions happen, shape his reality with positivity.
Exactly. Like he's built this whole system for how to see the world, how to deal with people, almost like a way to make sense of it all.
And he uses it everywhere, not just theory. The book's got examples of Rory putting those purple beams to work, like he can actually change things with his attitude.
Makes you think, is it just a coping mechanism? A way to feel in control when life gets messy? Or could there be something deeper there?
The book keeps you guessing, that's for sure, but it definitely makes you think about the power of our own minds, our intentions.
And how those perceptions, they might be influenced by things we don't even see. Because Rory's world, it takes a dark turn when he stumbles on this thing he calls unreality. Basically, that there are these dark forces pulling the strings, messing with our world, controlling what we believe.
Unreality. That's where this book Theory Blue really goes full-on conspiracy theory, paranoia. Rory becomes totally convinced that governments, corporations, something even weirder, are all in on it, manufacturing a fake reality to keep us all in line. Yeah, it's a scary thought to think about someone or something messing with reality. And Rory, he totally falls down that rabbit hole of unreality. He starts seeing it everywhere.
And that's where the book walks this line between what's real and what's in his head. Rory's search for the truth, it sends him spiraling. Everyone's a suspect, part of this big conspiracy. He even starts thinking some people aren't even human. Skin things, he calls them, like aliens hiding in plain sight.
Like he's totally losing it, and the book doesn't sugarcoat it. He pulls away from everyone, doesn't even trust the people closest to him.
And that's what makes book Theory Blue a bit of a warning sign, It's good to question things, to look deeper, but there is this point where being skeptical turns into paranoia, where you start seeing the world in a totally messed up way.
And for Rory, it all blows up in his face. Mental breakdown, even tries to end it all. It's heavy stuff, really makes you realize how fragile we are when you start doubting everything, when fear takes over.
It's a turning point for sure, for Rory and for anyone reading. It throws the consequences right in your face, this curiosity, this need to know. It can consume you if you're not careful.
Makes you wonder what the book's trying to tell us about how we handle information, how we explain the world to ourselves.
That's the beauty of this book Theory Blue. It doesn't give you answers on a silver platter. It holds up a mirror to all of us, to our anxieties, trying to figure out what's real in a world drowning in information, true or not.
And just when you think you know where it's going, bam! It takes this turn. Rory could drown in despair, but he doesn't. He decides to fight back against this unreality he's uncovered, uses his experiences, how messed up he got, as a weapon.
Yeah, it's like this act of rebellion saying, you won't silence me, you won't control me. And his method, pure genius. He creates book Theory Blue, but like a fake movie project, a Trojan horse to sneak in the truth.
So he's creating a conspiracy theory inside a fictional story. That's blurring the lines even more, isn't it?
Exactly. T-shirts, a whole website. He even plants clues in the real world, all designed to look like the same conspiracies he doesn't trust anymore. It's wild, but kind of brilliant, this whole resistance thing.
Fighting fire with fire, using their language to expose them. Yeah.
And that's where things get really meta. We're reading book Theory Blue, the book in our hands, but it's also Rory's creation, his way of trying to wake people up to this unreality he's found.
Like he's challenging us to question everything, see past the surface, accept that even the craziest ideas might have some truth to them. But it's not all sunshine and roses. The book shows how damaging that pursuit can be, how it can mess you up.
It's this balancing act, and Book Theory Blue nails it. It doesn't make things easy, doesn't hand you a conclusion. It makes you think, wrestle with these ideas long after you've finished it. Isn't that the sign of a good book?
Sticks with you, for sure. Makes you rethink things.
And these days, so much info coming at us, truth feels like it's slipping away, That's got to make you think, got to make you question what you're told, right? Be a little skeptical.
But still keep an open mind. Just because it sounds crazy doesn't mean there isn't something there.
Exactly. This Book Theory Blue, it reminds you, what's real for one person might be totally bonkers to someone else. We all got our own realities in a way, shaped by what we experience, what we choose to believe.
So how do you sort it all out? How do you know what's real with all these different stories, different versions of the truth?
$1,000,000 question, right? Now, this Book Theory Blue, it doesn't exactly give you a map, but it gives you tools. Rory, he shows you how important it is to think for yourself, to look for different angles, question everything, even your own gut instincts.
So don't just swallow the story whole no matter who's telling it. Look for the facts, the evidence, and make up your own mind.
You got it. And that process, like Rory finds out, can be exciting, but it can be scary too. It takes guts to face the truth even when it's ugly, to challenge the way things are. You risk people thinking you're nuts, or worse.
But you got to be responsible too, right? This Book Theory Blue shows how easy it is to cross that line between what's real and what you want to believe, especially when a story plays into your fears, your prejudices.
That's why you got to keep that skeptical part of you alive. Be ready to question yourself even. Be open to being wrong.
Big takeaway there, especially these days. So we've come to the end of our deep dive into Book Theory Blue, and I'm curious, what stuck with you? What got you thinking?
For me, it's that idea that we're not just along for the ride. We shape our own realities, every choice, every belief. It builds the world around us.
Great point to wrap things up on. We have that power to choose what we believe, to build our own realities. And Book Theory Blue reminds us it's not always going to be easy or comfortable, but it's a journey worth taking. Thanks for sending in this book. Really got us thinking. And to everyone listening, check out Book Theory Blue if you get the chance, see what you discover. Until next time, stay curious out there and keep those purple beams shining bright.